Welcome to the Nanny Podcast. I'm Hannah Scher, the owner of Riviera Nannies, a worldwide nanny agency based in the south of France. I feel very passionately about everything nanny. One of the most important things we do at our agency is making sure our nannies have the careers and jobs that fit them the best, and we love supporting them in all areas of their lives and careers. That's why I wanted to start the Nanny Podcast. Here we talk about all things nanny, the good, the bad, and the awesome. Thank you for spending some time with me today and for listening to our podcast. Welcome to Season 2 of the Nanny Podcast. I am so happy you're here. My name is Hannah Scher and I'm from Riviera Nannies. Today we're going to ask ourselves the question, are you looking for the wrong things? It goes for both nannies and families. I think often nannies are looking for the wrong things in families to work with. And just as often, families are looking for things in nannies that is not what's going to work best for them. Let me explain what I mean. I get a lot of nannies contacting us, looking for work. And when they tell us what kind of work they want, what goals they have and the path that they want to take, it's not always compatible. For example, we might have a nanny who wants to work in the villas on the Côte here, where I am. But she doesn't drive, she doesn't have her own transportation, and she's not interested in getting it. Fair enough. Whatever the reason is for that. But looking for jobs in the villas, for example, is not going to work out in her favor because very often there's not public transportation that supports it. And the client that she might be working with is probably not going to want to schedule her childcare around the bus schedule. So they're just going to end up hiring somebody else. Another example is high stress, high demand, and high paid jobs. Are they right for everyone? No, they're not. Going into this kind of job requires a certain kind of skill and mindset. You want to know why you're doing it. The reasons are different for different nannies. And then you have to set yourself up to thrive in that position. Depending what that is for you, it can be everything from social support networks, sufficient self-care, that can be as simple as a good pair of running shoes or enough books to read in your downtime if you're in a remote place. I see a lot of nannies who just want a job. If they just get the job, they'll figure it out and make it work. If you're a quiet person who does not like physical activities, you're not going to fit with a family that loves the outdoors. If you're a sociable person who needs to feel connected to others, a remote rota position in Russia might not be right for you, no matter how much it pays. Knowing who you are, what your strengths are, and where you do your best work is going to guide how you choose the jobs where you shine. And remember, there is a place for you to shine, and it might not be where you think it is. The same things are true for families. When you look for a nanny, you might have a few things that you want, and then there might be the things that are like shiny objects of desire on the CV that seem like things that you really, really, really want. Families, I'm going to tell you something you might not like to hear. That shiny thing, that celebrity job or whatever it is that impresses you on their CV, it might not be what you need. It might not even be what's compatible with your family. I will give you an example. Imagine you're looking for a nanny for your 6-month-old baby and you run into a nanny who speaks several languages and have an impressive list of education in early childhood development and has been a nanny to the stars. But she doesn't have experience with infants. She doesn't drive, and you live outside the center of town and you need her to be able to drive. Then you run into another candidate who has a long experience working with infants, has been with each of her families for years, and she drives. She has not been a nanny to the stars. I talk about this a lot because it does not necessarily mean that a nanny is good. And her formal education is less, but she seems like a great fit for your baby and your family. You click with her, but her CV is less impressive at first glance. And the first nanny is so shiny, and she has things on the CV that you desire, even though deep down you know that the second one is going to work out better. Why? She has done what you want her to do. She's experienced. Her requirements match yours. And she has worked with families for a long time on each job, which is a huge piece of information for you about how she will be able to work with you. Excellent nannies who do short-term jobs usually stick to short-term jobs and jump around. Excellent nannies who do longer term jobs and apply for longer term jobs tend to have stayed with families longer. Which one would you pick? I see all the time that families jump from the shiny one. They interview a few of them, sometimes they even hire them, and then it doesn't work out. The nanny sees another opportunity that fits her CV profile better and she leaves. Or you realize that all the certificates in the world do not give you experience with newborns and the skills you need to figure out how yours works. I think it's something to think about for both nannies and families. To not just sell yourselves to get a job or a nanny, but to really look for someone who is compatible with what you're looking for. And that's what we do. And we often see both parties looking for things that are not in their best interest. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. I am really happy you chose to listen to our podcast. If you aren't following us on social media, head over to Instagram and follow us for tips, tricks, and shenanigans at Riviera Nannies. This episode is brought to you by Mama Toto, the online community that supports women from pregnancy, birth, and into motherhood. Go to mamatoto.info and join the tribe of supportive mothers and their babies. See you next time when we're going to talk about cell phones. Bye!